Okay, guys, so today we're going to be talking about rendering. All right, and rendering is when you add shading, color, and texture to your drawing to make it look more realistic. Okay, so here is an example of where we're at. Right, it's an unrendered drawing. It's all just lines. Right, but for rendering, when we add some shading to it, right? Notice here, it starts to look more realistic and it starts to look more similar to our reference, right? Because our reference is a photo which is real, essentially, right? So let's compare this one, rendered, to this one, all right? So we're gonna move from this point to this rendered drawing by adding some shading, all right? And when we talk about shading, that's just using your pencil, using how dark your pencil is to make things look lighter and darker. All right. And when we have shading, we always follow the principle of light and shadow. Okay. So if we look at our reference photo here, all right, you'll see that this side of the bird is white, right? It's really light on this side, whereas on this side, you see under the wing here, and you see this side of the face, it's dark, right? So we can consider this side on the left the light side or the direction of light, and this side is in shadow, right? It's the opposite side of where the light is coming from. Okay, so shading is always going to follow those rules, all right? Um, so the way that artists think about like shadows and light and things like that is we think in terms of something called value. All right. So values are the degree of light and dark relative to each other in a shade. Okay. And a shade is just like a certain degree or level of like darkness. Okay. So it's always just we're always just comparing like one part of the drawing to another part of the drawing, or if we think of the reference, one part of the reference to the other part of the reference, right? So we know that in this drawing here, right, I have this side of the bird with light, and this side of the bird is slightly darker. Okay, so the right side right here is going to be in a darker value, all right? And this side is going to be in a lighter value, okay? Things like this shade right here, it's pretty close to black, right? Black is considered a value, all right? This white area here is considered a value, all right? It's not a specific color, it's just how dark or light something is, okay? This middle area here, this like grayish area here, right? Notice that this is slightly darker than this, or sorry, lighter than this, right? Those are two separate values, right? And that's how we would use that term, right? The more values you use in your drawing, the more realistic it's going to start to look, okay? And this is one of those things where you have to actually pay really close attention to your drawing and the reference image to match those values together. Okay.